Hello, my name is Kente, and welcome to the Spotlight Hollywood Edition. I am all the way live from Los Angeles, California, and I'm joined by my co-host, the one and only Yardley. How you doing, Yardley?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. We're winding down the weekend, and what better way to wind it down with Game of Thrones coming on tonight and having Gary on today, man. So the weekend's been kind of cool, man.
It's been a beautiful weekend here in sunny Los Angeles, California. And I'm really excited about what's going to be going on this week for me personally. And I hope you guys are excited about your future as well. Now, we have a wonderful guest, actor Gary Wells. How you doing, Gary?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks very much.
Yes, Gary will be seen in this sixth season of the show Game of Thrones, and we're going to talk a lot about it. But before we get into the Game of Thrones, we want to get to know Gary a little bit. And I think we need to start off with, we're going to show that his acting show reel for 2015. So let me cue it up. And here we go. Uh-oh. Sorry. There we go. Hey, that was Gary, our guest tonight, or today, Gary Wells' show reel. How are you doing, Gary?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys?
Pretty good, pretty good. First, we always like to start off at the beginning. Tell everybody where you're from originally. Where were you born at?
Okay, I was born in Scotland, Falkirk in Scotland. I was born on the 29th of September 1995. So, yeah, that's where I was born.
It's funny. I graduated from high school in 95.
Yeah.
He was being born and I was graduating. That's funny. But I guess that happens. So tell us what it was like growing up in Scotland.
It was quite hard, actually. I got bullied quite a lot whenever I was in Scotland. Since I started like acting and stuff like that, I got bullied for being like doing what I love to do, and I got to a stage where we physically couldn't take it anymore, and we moved school. So we moved school, and it got worse. Then there was house attacks. People started egging our house, throwing paint over our door, stuff like that. It was pretty harsh. So then we came to the situation where we actually physically had to move country. So we moved to Northern Ireland, where still I got bullied. I got bullied because the first year that I started high school, I was casted as Oliver. I played Oliver. And because I was seen wearing makeup and stuff like that, like people were like taking the piss and stuff like that, and they weren't believing in me basically. But I just said back to them, like, you watch TV, right? And I was like, yeah, so who brings your entertainment to your TV? I do. So don't bully me. Like, I'm bringing you entertainment. So like that was my my back to it, But like I've been bullied quite a lot in my life, and I've kind of like risen against that, and like ever since there was one certain person, which I will not name on this broadcast. There was one certain person that completely changed my life around. It was about a year and a half ago, and she completely changed my name. Completely changed my life around. She made me happy, positive, and like I just kept spreading love throughout everyone. Made a lot of people smile, and like I've been doing a lot of charity and volunteering work through the course of my life. So it's been pretty awesome. So like I'm pretty proud of what I do and stuff like that. I'm gonna keep pushing because I know like I'm gonna make more people happy, and that's my aim, is to stop bullying and just do whatever I can to make the world a better place.
And that's interesting because with your life experiences, one of the things that we always like to talk about when we have shows and we interview people, we talk about the aspect of not only a person, like you just mentioned, that changed their life, but we also like to look at people's familial relations. And one major mind up with what you wanted to do and pursue for a living. How supportive were people in your family? Your parents, did they want you to pursue something else? And how important of a role did your family and your friends play in your life before acting?
Before acting, some of them didn't believe, which was quite sad. And Most of them did believe in what I can do. And my granny always says that I'm going to see your name up in lights before I pass. She's sadly in a care home right now, and she suffers from dementia, which is quite a hard thing because she doesn't know who we are. She doesn't know her own daughter. She doesn't know who I am, and it brings me to tears. I met her last in August there, and she just never had a clue who I was. And I just showed her like a DVD cover, and I had my name on the front cover, and I opened it up, and I had my face on the DVD, and like she clicked, and she knew fine rightly that was it, like that that's her goals been met because she knew that I was going to do it, and I did do it. I'm now in the biggest bloody TV show in the world, so I'm quite glad that she's actually here to physically see that I've done it and that I'm going to keep going, because like she's probably my biggest supporter, and she always has been. She's always thought of me being an entertainer, and I used to do quite a lot of dancing around the house, done a bit of Michael Jackson dancing and whatnot. And I just kept going. So I mean, like now look at me, like I'm growing on social media like rocket fire. I'm like 500,000 followers worldwide. People are like appreciating what I'm doing. People like DM me all the time saying that I've changed their life, that I've made them happier and stuff like that. And hearing that coming from other people, like it does change me in a way, because it's pushing me to go even further, to help more people, and to help other people's dreams be successful. So I mean, like, family are there, and they've been there ever since. So, and that's a good thing. Sometimes my friends, like if I do something, like for example, if I say I've got an interview and they're like, what for? And I was like joking around and whatnot, but they are there for me, and they will support me. And like if I ask them to come down with me and take pictures or whatnot, they will. So they are there for me whenever things come up.
That's kind of interesting, because you actually led me into another question when you were talking about fans sending you messages, being inspirational to yourself. What's the most inspiring thing a fan has ever said to you?
Oh, wow. As you probably know, I made a film called Too Late. It was based on bullying and suicide. And unfortunately, I lost my little cousin. He was 13 in 2013 to suicide. And ever since then, I've decided that like I'm going to help other people that's going through suicidal problems and stuff like that. And I spent 6 weeks with this young girl that was having suicide problems. She was depressed. She was self-harming, a lot like that. And I was talking to her every day, making her happy. I would like spend like 4 hours during the night when I'm supposed to be sleeping on the phone to her, just to keep her happy and keep her positive, and try and like stop her to do silly things. And like she's completely cured now, and she always wanted to be a dancer, and I gave her the pathway to become a dancer. She's now studying ballet and performing arts, and like she absolutely loves her life now. And like she like messages me nearly every weekend saying, "Hope you have a great weekend and remember to smile." It's coming out of my mouth basically. It's like following onto her, and it's passing on, and that's what I want to see, and that's what I want to do. Like I want to pass my feelings to other people so they can pass on to others. It's basically like a big circle, which this world should be like, as a big circle, and it should just spread positive vibes. So I mean, like she's just constantly coming to me saying she appreciates what I've done, and she thanks me and stuff like that. And then people like DM me every day saying, thank you so much, you're so inspirational, I can't wait to meet you in the future and stuff like that. Like hearing that, like it's crazy. From being someone in Northern Ireland in the UK to being someone known in Brazil or somewhere in France or somewhere in India or whatever, people are still coming through to me and saying those kind of things. So it's pretty awesome.
Oh, that's kind of awesome, because also with people seeing you as an inspiration, it also helps you stay on your P's and Q's and keeps you on your toes, huh?
Yeah, it
in your
does.
personal life. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
That's good.
it does.
Now, being bullied for practicing your craft, was there ever a moment where you just said, you know what, is this worth it? Do I want to continue? Was there ever a moment where you wanted to give it up?
Nope. No, because I believed in myself and I succeeded. So I'm now the bigger person.
Wow. So, what do you say to someone who may be in the position you were in, where they may be feeling like, you know what, it's not worth it to continue. Maybe I should do something different. What would you say?
Yeah, just basically never give up. Follow your dreams, or people say follow your nose. Um, that's what I done, and it landed me in the biggest show in the world. So,
You
like
know,
it happens all the time worldwide. Happens to lots of people, and they just don't believe in themselves.
yeah.
And that's the problem with this world. Like, people just don't believe in themselves, and that's why I'm here. So people can believe in themselves, that they know that they can succeed in life. So
You know what? Looking at your journey and a lot of the things that you've told us today, on the show, I think one of the things that definitely is beneficial to you is the fact that you have thick skin, and I think trying
oh
to
yeah.
be an actor, especially having spoken to lots of actors, one of the common threads is they're just saying that you definitely have to be able to put things behind you, have thick skin, and your personal experiences in a lot of ways has prepared you for things with your career. I mean, surely nothing in your career can probably be harder than some of the things that happened to you as you were growing up. So, for me, you being an individual that's had a lot of turmoil and trials and tribulations, not to say that other people don't, I think that was a way, for the universe to kind of prepare you for the path that you're on now.
Yeah, completely agree.
We have a question from the chat that comes from Grayson Sonata. Who is your acting inspiration?
My acting inspiration is Johnny Depp.
Yeah, okay, that's a good one. Yes.
He is, yeah,
What do you like about him mostly?
absolutely everything. Like watching Edward Scissorhands for the first time when I was younger, I always wanted to be the character with the Scissorhands, and it's always been my dream to act with Johnny Depp, and I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep pushing, and I know I will do it. I will do it if I tried hard enough. I will do it, and that's my brain controlling myself, saying that you're going to do it, and I am going to do it. I am going to act in the scene with Johnny Depp, and no one's going to stop me. That's the way I roll.
One thing too I noticed about you is acting is not the only thing in your toolbox. I noticed that you write, you direct, you produce as well. Tell us, about those elements as well, and what made you want to do so much in this industry.
I mean, like, I think with directing and producing and stuff, like, it wasn't really for me, but it just came to like the situation where, like, for example, in 2013 when my little cousin passed away, it was October whenever I started the pre-production for Too Late, and like, there were so many people committing suicide, and it was just horrible to look at. And then I kind of thought, what's better than watching a movie, So I kind of came to the paper and started writing and writing and writing, and then my little cousin committed suicide, unfortunately, and I used those feelings and that experience, added that to the script, and made it his story, but put a few twists on it to make it a bit more realistic and more like 2013, 14 kind of thing. And overall, like, it's been a success. People keep like emailing me and stuff like that, saying that that they watched my film and they thought they says it's going to save a lot of lives, and it just needs to be put in the right hands to be broadcasted out in the right way. And I believe, like, it's my dream to get into the Ellen DeGeneres show, just not as an actor, but just to talk about Too Late, to talk about my bullying experiences and what I do to help this world. Like, I'm not in the entertainment industry for fame. I'm in it because I care about it. It's my hobby, and I love doing what I do. And I think like acting and stuff, it's telling a story of a certain person, and that's what I'm doing. I'm telling my story, and one day I will direct my own film about me, about my life, about how I grew up when like I was in Scotland and how I had to move across seas just to get away from the bullies, but they followed me. So, and then becoming who I was today. So,
Hey, you know what? Part of your movie is going to have to be you coming on our show talking about
Right.
a lot of that stuff.
yeah,
So you got to
yeah,
give us a mention. All right.
We can play our, but
definitely.
you know, going back to the topic of suicide, it's one of those things where I think there's a lot of misconceptions about people who decide to do that. And I think a lot of times there's a lot of signs that are out there that unfortunately, some of us we ignore and we don't necessarily take it seriously. And unfortunately, there's been a couple of people in my life that has committed suicide, and there's a lot of guilt by the people left behind too, because they knew something wasn't right, but they didn't act accordingly. So my question to you is, for somebody who is not necessarily thinking about committing suicide, but you see that someone might have that tendency, like, what are some things that we can look at for some of our friends who may be having a hard time, to actually, and what are ways we can help them as well?
Yeah, I mean, like one of the most popular things that you can see in someone with depression and stuff like that is them locking themselves in a room and spending every single night. They come home from school, they don't want to talk to no one, they go straight up to their bedroom, they close the curtains, and they just sit there. Like, that's one thing that I've seen quite a lot. And like, I do that, right? That's like, I come home, I go up to my bedroom because that's where I do my work. I continue my life through, because like basically I've got like two jobs. I've got my day job, and then I've got this job where I'm on social media and I'm talking and I'm emailing and interviews and stuff like that. And like, I'm still working, so like 24/7 I'm working. So like, people with depression and stuff like that, you can always see side effects, like people getting really dark, and like if they're like hiding something as well, you can kind of see that they're hiding something. If they're wearing long sleeve t-shirts, you know that there's a possibility that they could be self-harming because they're hiding their arms or something like that. And like, I've seen that in a lot of people. Like, I do suicide talks, like I do spokesperson as well. And like, it's crazy the amount of kids like afterwards that come up to me and physically show me their wrists, and it completely, like, it drops, like, it scares me, like, because they're like 13-year-old, 14-year-old, and there's people coming up to me showing them their wrists, and then I give them my business card and I say, reach out to me, I want to talk to you. So like, that's what the kids done, and I've changed their lives and put positive vibes inside them. So like, now they're living their normal day and school, and then coming home, eating their dinner, doing their homework, and whatever else they want to do. But like, yeah, just basically, like, if you want to do something for a person that's going through depression stuff, the one thing that they're looking at is to be with someone, to have someone there the whole entire way that's going to support them, in every single way possible. And that's why I'm here, because I'm here to support so many people. Like, for example, like, there's people online that are getting, like, I don't know if you're aware of the Amanda Todd story.
The what, Todd?
The
No.
Amanda Todd. It was a girl. She was 12 years old, and she flashed on broadcast. Someone had screenshotted and put them all over pornographic websites, and started giving it, like, spreading the links throughout their family and friends and their mum and stuff like that. And I know the mum personally, Carol Todd. She made the legacy, Amanda Todd legacy. She was over in Northern Ireland recently there. We done a big talk in front of, I think it was like 2,000 kids. And like, people like that, like, that's depression. Like, you see people, like, for people to say, if you don't do this for me, then I'm going to leak you even further. and that's depression because it's like forcing them to do something, and I think it's really horrible. And it needs to stop, and that's why that's one problem with social media is there's not enough moderators. There isn't physically. There's not enough moderators throughout the web. We need more people like myself to be within those websites to keep an eye out for things and stuff like that. Like a 12-year-old shouldn't be on live broadcasts and social media. But that's the thing. Those kids are smart. They're 12 years old. They're going to bypass that. It's simple. You can make a fake email address if you wanted to.
Right.
Like, it's so easy. And like a friend of mine, do you know what YouNow is?
What is it called?
YouNow?
I don't know.
No. It's a broadcasting thing. It's very, very popular now.
Oh, no.
So it is. And a friend of mine, what he does, he works for an organization called Aunt Candy's Awareness, and he would go into young kids' broadcasts because there's like creeps in the comments and telling them to do stuff and stuff like that. And YouNow.com. There we go. Thank you, Daisha.
Thank you.
Like, you get those creeps that come in for the younger children and stuff like that, telling them to do stuff. And my friend, he's the technical advisor for Aunt Candy's Awareness. He came into broadcast and basically warning the kids, this is where this video is getting recorded. There's some website in Brazil that they're physically recording their screen and they're posting them and selling them to older men to do stuff, which is absolutely disgusting. But my friend basically goes in and basically tells them exactly this is what's going on. Here goes in, he reports stuff, but suddenly YouNow took a spin to that and reported him. So they've blocked his IP address, and every account that he makes, he's blocked automatically for helping. And that's what I completely disagree about that. And I've contacted Web Sheriff about that. I don't know if you're aware of Web Sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite a big thing. Like, I've contacted the Web Sheriff about YouNow, but they're not giving him. YouNow's not giving him, which is wrong. I completely disagree with it, and I think it's wrong of them because, like, there's so many kids out there that's getting harmed every single day from complete strangers around the world, and it just needs to stop. Like, it just needs to stop.
You know, one thing that I've noticed about people is most people like to be heard, right? And a lot of times,
attention seeking.
Right. You can have those people who bully, but then also those people who are contemplating suicide. A lot of times they just want to be heard, because I think people rather be cursed out than ignored. I think
exactly.
Ignoring, you know, when you're treated like you don't exist is even worse than someone taking the time to curse you out. So I think one of the things that, you know, can help people who are going through this, you know, extreme depression and whatnot is if they have an ear for someone to actually listen to them and actually hear what they're saying. And I think so many people don't really have that person, whether it be in their family or friends or even a pastor or priest or whatever. So I think it's very important. So that's why I'm like, talk to, you know, people in your circle, you know, talk to them, you know, really hear them out, because a lot of times that's all people need is just an ear, you know?
Yeah. They just need a person to talk to.
That's right. So
that's why I'm here.
So let's talk about your craft as an actor, right? It's very important to sharpen your tool. What are some of the ways, you know, I know you don't want to give away all the secret sauce, but what are some of the ways that you, you know, just really practice on your craft to become the best actor you can be?
Just be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only advice I can give, is be yourself.
Be yourself.
You just have to believe in your performance and you'll do it. It's like having nerves on America's Got Talent. If you've got the nerves there, you're going to give off a fantastic performance.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, before we get into, of course, Game of Thrones, I just want to ask you about a couple of the shorts that you've done, because you have a good mix of a lot of different things. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we talked about Too Late, but I want to talk about a movie like Zombie Formal Queen.
Right.
That a little bit.
Okay, what that was actually, it was quite thing that I just kind of done on the side. Like as you know, I take care of kids and stuff like that. Like I look out for like drama groups and stuff like that and whatnot. And this drama school, the director of the drama school contacted me and said, "We're looking to make a short film with the kids to get them screen time, and we want you to be in it." So it was really an amateur short film based around zombies. I believe is the clip on YouTube? No, I don't think it is. But there's a scene in the short film, where I'm running and all the kids are like chasing me as zombies, and they jump on me. Like it was an amateur production, just something that I would take out of my time. Oh, the clip is there. Okay. To take it out of my time to physically be there with the kids, to show them what to do, to how they're going to react on camera and stuff like that. But kids are kids; they're not going to listen. They don't listen to you. So, I mean, like, it was a fantastic. It was 3 days I filmed that. It was pretty awesome, and it was cold. It was wet. It was bloody. But I had a blast. So it was pretty good. And then it premiered. I think it was like, I don't know. I think it was like 2 months after that filming. It was quite quick. I think the film's like 12 minutes long, but unfortunately I couldn't actually physically go to the premiere because I had other things that I was doing. But I did end up seeing it, so it was okay. It was good.
Now, when we were watching your show reel, and there was a clip of you getting brutally murdered in a movie. I believe that film was called No Answer. Talk about
That's correct.
Spoiler alert, but you were getting it pretty bad there. Tell us about that movie.
No Answer is completely nothing. It was me and two friends that are within the film industry within Northern Ireland. A friend of mine, he's a cinematographer and also an editor, and we just says, "Hang on, let's do something. It's a nice day. We'll go do something." So we went down to Bangor in Northern Ireland into a forest, and we just shot a 1 minute short film, and it's like so snappy and catchy. It's just something, like, because it was like something to do in our spare time, and it was giving us credits as well. So I mean, like, it was just something on the side. So it's not really a professional thing, but to me, I think it was pretty awesome. Like, I think we pulled it off that it could actually become a physical horror film, slasher film, which I think would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was trying to look into the hoodie. Now, was the individual that was murdering you the one who you just got through telling that you didn't want to be in a relationship with him? Was it the same?
No, that's not the same person, though.
Okay. Because I was like, is that the same guy? Because he really didn't take that too well.
No, all those clips at the start of the show reel are from Too Late, and then it just cuts off at No Answer, and finishes with No Answer, and then the very end scene when I shoot Sam, that's Too Late. So like most of it was Too Late, but now that I've got more footage and stuff coming in now, and I've got a new show reel coming out very soon anyway, so it's pretty awesome. And I've just wrapped up my last short film, which is a vampire film, which is pretty awesome. I wrapped that up last week. It was last week. Exactly a week, actually. And I wrapped that up, and it's due to be released this summer, so that should be cool. And I never really recognized me being in a vampire film, but it happened, So.
Is that The Love Bites?
It is, yeah.
That's right. All right, so let's get into Game of Thrones. Now, first of all, how aware of you were the series before you got cast in this upcoming season?
I was quite aware of it. Like, I knew exactly where the locations were, where they were filming and stuff like that. So I kind of knew what was going on. People were posting on it, like, because I'm within so many groups on like Facebook and stuff like that on social media, that I have access to everyone like in Northern Ireland within the film entertainment industry. That I'm seeing all these people saying, like, showing like clips and stuff and behind the scenes stuff and like all this kind of stuff. So I mean, like, I was aware of it happening in Northern Ireland as well. So, and plus to keep an eye out on IMDb as well for locations, to see exactly where they go. But I know all the locations now.
Oh, okay. Now, was this your first time auditioning for the part that you got, or had you auditioned before?
I mean, like, no, that was the first time I really auditioned. But I will be going in for another audition for season 7, for a major role. So, I do have an audition coming up very soon. So,
All right. So tell us about your experience first auditioning for the part on Game of Thrones.
it's just like any other audition, really. The producers are the casting directors there, and the cinematographer is there that's actually physically filming the audition. Um, it's just like any other audition. You learn. They give you a script the day before. You learn it. You go in. You do it. That's you. You've left. That's it.
they,
Simple.
they wanted to know, were you obligated to read all the books?
I know. Oh, they didn't. They didn't really care. Like, they did ask me, "Have you read the books? Have you watched the TV show?" I was like, "Nope. I don't know nothing about it." It's like whenever I auditioned for Star Wars as well, for the new Star Wars, I auditioned for that, and they were like, "Have you ever seen any of the original films?" I was like, "Nope." It's like, "Why are you here?" I was like, "Because this is my passion. This is my life."
Right.
Yeah.
So,
So when you told them that you had never saw the originals, had you seen any of them? What about the prequel films? Because those were the films that were released during the 90s.
yeah, I mean, no, never seen them. I am aware of the characters, like I'm aware of Chewbacca and stuff like that, and R2D2 and Obi-Wan Kenobi and whatnot, but I've seriously can't. I've never seen them. It's like, I mean, like, I've watched all the Harry Potters, I've watched all the Lord of the Rings, the Hobbits and whatnot, but Star Wars really wasn't a thing. Winter is coming. Star Wars wasn't really a thing for me, because like it was like Star Trek a little bit. I was like, this is a bit too sci-fi for me. Plus, it was like I would describe Star Wars as a sci-fi fantasy kind of thing. So it wasn't really my cup of tea, and that's why I'm not watching Game of Thrones either, because that's a fantasy. So there's no chance I'm watching it.
That's funny. That's funny. So, okay, so once you did get cast in the show, did you watch anything about it or nothing? You just like, I'm just attack my part.
Yeah.
All
I was
right.
like, I was on set. I'm left now. Bye bye.
So I know, like, we don't want to spoil anything, but what can you tell us about the part that you play and just your overall experience of working on the show?
I mean, like, from what the media has already given out already, I'm in a big battle scene within within the show. So like that's really all I can really give out, because everything's really a secret.
Right.
Because like there's no book, so I can't really give out that much. But yeah.
Hey, well, I hope we see you at the Tower of Joy.
What was your overall experience though working on the set? And
Oh, it was amazing. It was huge. Like, there was like 8 cameras rolling at one time. I was like, what is this? I was like, all these cranes with cameras on them. And I was like there was cameras at each like angle and stuff. It was scary. And then there was like these like huge green screens that like they were the size of a church. Like, they were really big. There was a castle built that they built by hand. They built the big boat as well. Big blue screens everywhere, green screens, tents everywhere. Like, it was crazy. It was like being in a proper big Hollywood production. But it was a fantastic experience. It was cold. It was muddy. But that's Northern Ireland weather for you. So
Oh, well, Game of Thrones has been known to do some cool stuff, with wardrobe and costuming. Can you tell
yeah.
us anything about the process of preparation and execution as they get ready to give all of you guys the right look?
Costume. I hated that. I wore 6 layers of costume.
Oh
It
wow.
was wax trousers. So it was like trousers that were waxed over to give that old like feel to it and look to it. I then wore a kilt and like all this like battle armor and whatnot, and there was just so many layers. And like whenever we wanted to go to the toilet, we had to actually physically undress just to go to the toilet,
Oh,
and then go back to costume and dress up again. So, but I went to the toilet like 7 times a day, and it was just crazy. And the hours were terrible as well. I got 1 hour and a half sleep and 3 days that I was filming.
wow.
1 hour and a half.
Wow, man, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. So you know what's so crazy though? I remember back in the day, like television and movies, it was a big separation. Like you know, but I think it was really with the X-Files when now all of a sudden TV shows became, you know, up there with movies, you know, as far as quality, you know, with the special effects and all of that stuff. It's so crazy to believe that this TV show, this is not on the silver screen. This is on television, that they have so much resources poured into that show. And one thing I love about HBO is HBO will spend some money to make great art. And, you know, they understand that, you know, what they're supposed to do. So,
I mean, like I absolutely love HBO's work. Like I seen Band of Brothers, and Band of Brothers blew me away. So like I was aware of HBO's work and to what the extent that they would go to it. Like I know they spend a lot of money, and like I thought it was amazing. Like Band of Brothers was amazing. And then obviously like Game of Thrones is the most talked about TV show in the world, like right now. So I mean like it's just crazy. I don't know.
Now you were saying in the pre-chat that you were standing next to one of the iconic characters on the show and you didn't know who it was. Tell everybody.
Yes. Who was it again?
Jamie.
Jaime Lannister. Yeah, I was standing next to Jaime Lannister in one of the scenes, and then there was like a camera. There was a scene, interior scene inside the castle where the camera was literally about there, and my like face was like right there. So there was a scene that I'm in that where I'm throwing swords on top of this huge big pile of like other weapons. I don't know what it was. Like I've never seen the show before, so I've not got a clue what it was. I don't know. I think it was like a big body pile, or I don't know what it was. It was just the director and producer came over to me and says, "Right, Gary, you take that, and I was like, throw that on whenever I go action." I'm like, go. I'm like, okay. And I think I like fucked up the first time, but then I done it like the second take, and that was it done. So it's pretty good.
Now, being that you know you were in battle scenes and stuff like that, did you have to get in special shape before, or were you already ready to go?
I mean, like really, I wasn't in the actual physical battle scene.
Right.
I think it was like beforehand or afterwards. I think because there was a big march in it, and like I think it was actually beforehand because like we were camping out and stuff like that. And like there was like real fires and stuff like that. It was just crazy. Like they would come over and torch your fire for you, like all like the production people, and it was real flames. And I was like, dude, this is serious. Like, wow. And there was like the tents that we were standing at. It was like a big campsite kind of thing between the Helter troops and the Lannisters. There was like a huge there was the red tents and the green tents. And like it was just a huge campsite, and we like it was like marching up and down, but we spent hours and hours on that, and it was crazy. It was just long, so it was. But yeah, it was pretty awesome. Jaime Lannister, he was on a horse half the time. He's obviously a star main character, so he's getting transported up and down a hill on a horse. So, and I have to walk, so I'm alright.
Now you understand. I know you know this, but Game of Thrones fans are very, very detailed. They know everything they know everything. You know, I tell you, my good buddy Yardley is on a show about Game of Thrones, and I'm telling you, I do podcasts on shows all the time. The one that I get a little queasy about is Game of Thrones because, you know, you got to really know your stuff or they will, you know, the fans will definitely pound you on it. So
I think I'm going to get pounded.
Yeah. So have you had any kind of interaction with Game of Thrones fans yet?
I mean, like I've had a few. Um, like people started making fan art and everything. I was like, that's weird. Please don't do that. You're putting my face on other people's bodies. Um, it was quite scary, but like people are messaging me saying, "Can't wait to see you in the next season." Blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah. So I just want to let the people know we are opening the seat if somebody wants to come in for a little bit to ask any questions. Now remember, the show is very secretive, so there's certain things he will not be able to answer about the show. But if you want to ask any general questions, please let me know and we will let you come in. So while we're waiting to see if somebody wants to pop in, as a producer, director, writer, actor, did you like when you got on set kind of check out what everybody's doing to kind of use it for your own craft later?
Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing that I've got an addiction of actually physically doing. Is when every set that I go on, I always try to give a lending hand. Um, like smaller productions, like short films and stuff. Like for example, Love Bites. I took every single behind the scenes picture whenever I wasn't on screen. I was taking the pictures. So I was there giving a working hand, like I was helping out with other people's costumes and stuff like that. And I done that on Game of Thrones as well. Well, I didn't take the pictures, but I was helping out with other people's costumes. Because there was only, I think it was like 4 or 5 costume people at that time that we were there, and there was like 80 people getting their costumes on, and people were having difficulties. Like they were like, "Can you tie me from the back there? Can you like do this? Can you?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I'll come over." So yeah.
Let's see. We have a question from Tom. Any interest in comic book movies? Who would you like to play? There we go. Batman.
Batman straight away.
Are you trying to take Ben Affleck's job?
Oh man.
That was a bad decision. I don't know. That's my intake on it. Is I completely disagree with Ben Affleck playing the role.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, he said
because like obviously watching like Pearl Harbor and stuff like that, and then seeing Ben Affleck as Batman, I'm like, okay, what's going on here? I've still not seen Batman versus Superman, which people will probably hate in a moment. But anyway,
no, they won't hate it, but I think a lot of people who are listening or in the chat want you to watch it because a lot of people, even though I don't think that the movie was that great as a whole, but one of the shining parts of the movie was Ben Affleck as Batman.
Really?
Yeah, he's the best Batman as far as I'm concerned since Michael Keaton. Because I like Michael Keaton was always my favorite Batman, but Ben, he did a pretty good job. I think since your expectations are low, it can only get higher when you leave.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's one character that I would love to play from Batman, and that's Joker. That is one character that I really want to play. But obviously, like you've had Jack Nicholson play him. Like Jack Nicholson's a fantastic actor. He's a method actor. Like I've seen The Shining, The One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Like, James, that's crazy acting. That is like he's physically going home to his own family, sitting at a dinner table as a mental patient, or being a murderer from The Shining, like having like thoughts in his head and stuff like that. He's like he's going home to his family. That's what method acting is. It's just crazy what people go through. And there's not that many method actors out there. Like you've got, I think Johnny Depp's starting to come into that kind of stage of acting. Jack Nicholson's definitely one. Robert De Niro's one. But I don't know. It's quite a lot.
Do you leave your characters on set, or do you ever have it where they kind of bleed?
Oh, I leave them.
Yeah.
I leave them. I'm just like, I don't want nothing to do with you again. That's it. I was like, we're done. I wouldn't really take anything with me. Really, like regarding Too Late and stuff, Too Late was my own self, really. It was my own body. and I believed it was just me on screen instead of playing Reese Anderson. But yeah.
Grayson wants to know, other than Batman, what's another ideal role that you would like to take?
I like Daredevil.
Yeah,
Daredevil has really got to me. I watched season 2 the other week there on Netflix, and it completely blew. Like from season 1 to like between season 1 and 2, like 2 is definitely the best for me. That's pretty awesome.
Any genres you want to attack as an actor?
I mean, I like the whole like slasher, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, like all the old classics. Like I would love to be the kind of person that's running away from some guy with a knife through a forest. Like that would be me. I don't know. I think it would be pretty cool, and I think I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my my agent, or I'm going to get them to contact to the producer of Insidious, because he produces Paranormal Activity and Insidious, and he doesn't bring in known actors. He brings in people that deserve the time, that deserves to get their name out there, and I think it would be awesome, like to get in one of those like shows. Like for example, one of his best films so far has to be Sinister. I absolutely adore Sinister.
I like Sinister a lot. Mr. Boogie is the man.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
So good. I think I've actually got it. Yeah, there. I can see it. But it scared me a little bit. Like it really did. Sinister did. There was jumps in it. Oh, and those tapes. Like those tapes were just nasty. I was like, "That's graphic." Whoa, you're like, it's crazy. But
yeah, the sequel.
Insidious wasn't really my cup of tea.
Yeah, the sequel to Sinister was really good as well. So
I've not seen this the Sinister 2 yet, but I really do have to actually physically watch that.
It's nasty times 2. Definitely really good. So, let's talk about the future. So we know that Love Bites is coming out. Are there any other projects that we should be on the lookout for?
Not really at the moment. I am in the process of making my second film. It's called Desperation. It's based on a relationship between a young couple that are expecting a child, but unfortunately, they're having financial problems, as any young parents or soon-to-be parents would have anyway. They're having financial problems, and the boyfriend, which is played by me, because any film that I make, I'm going to be in it. I want screen time. So, like, I'm playing the boyfriend in it, and my character does something completely wrong that I get in trouble with the law, and I get basically barred up for 15 years, not seeing my child until like 4 years time. Like we like fast forward time, and like to see my child and my girlfriend come into the meeting room to see me in cuffs, basically. So I'm seeing my child for the first time. So like I know that's going to be quite an emotional scene as well. Especially for like the viewers, especially when if they're going through the exact same situation where their husband or boyfriend could be in jail, and like they could be in the exact same situation. So at least they can look at that and be like, "This is what's going to happen. Like this is reality." So like I like more like reality kind of things, like something that's like true stories, true events, like something like that, something that means a lot to a lot of people. Because I believe I believe that if I do something that's within the subject, like for example, too late bullying, suicide, it reflects to so many people, and I probably guarantee that every single family out there is going through some sort of member in the family that's getting bullied, or they've committed suicide, or they're having suicidal thoughts, or they're going through depression or something like that. So like I try and hit the key points, because I believe like it does bring in quite a lot of audience, and I think it would bring in more audience than any other film out there, would be the key subjects of actual real life events.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Um, Now, one other question too is, um, now, do you have an American accent that you use for parts?
No.
No, you.
I think a lot of productions that I've done, they've kind of like, yeah. I mean, there's a thing that I forgot to mention there, that I will be in Canada this July and August, and I'm doing a press tour on the 29th of July, in Canada. So that'll be pretty awesome. It's like a press junket kind of thing. So I'll be doing that there in Toronto. So that'll be pretty awesome. And if anybody wants to interview me or anything, go to TyshaBradley.com. So what was your question there?
No, I was wondering if I'm sure you're gonna come out to Hollywood and do roles, and a lot of the roles will be for American parts. I was wondering if you had an American accent.
Not really. I've not really mastered that just yet. I mean, like the American accent's difficult. Like I understand like Jared Butler, he's Scottish. Like he's really Scottish, and he his accents are amazing. Like he can just change it if he wanted to. But like obviously, like once I get like whenever I get more up in the bars, I think like I'll be getting like vocal coaches and stuff like that to train me in accents and stuff like that. I mean, like I've not studied accents just yet, but I think I will eventually start that very soon. But mostly like all the projects that I've been doing recently, like especially me being in Northern Ireland, I'm the only Scottish actor in Northern Ireland, so people don't actually physically have to pay people to pay their flights and stuff to fly someone over from Scotland to be in their production in Northern Ireland when I'm right here at your doorstep. So it's quite a bonus for me as well, being like the only Scottish actor and to have the accent that I've got. It's like Scottish/Irish, but then people in Northern Ireland say that I've got a Scottish accent because they can still hear the Scottish accent. People abroad, they would say that I've got a Scottish accent, but whenever I go to Scotland, they're like taking the piss out of me because I've got an Irish accent. I'm like, I don't have an Irish accent. So like my family and stuff are like taking the piss. Like they're like, they say like Irish sayings like, I don't know what the Irish people say. I don't know. Like they say, top of the morning to you. Like my Scottish family, they would completely rip the complete piss out of me for having the accent that I've got. But accents isn't my thing just yet, but I will get there at some point.
I believe it. I believe it. Now we're at the part of the show that we affectionately like to call rapid fire. The way that rapid fire works is that me and Yarly will pepper you with questions. So are you ready for it?
Yes.
All right. So here we go. First question we always start off with. A couple of years ago at Coachella, they had a hologram concert for the rapper Tupac. What dead artist or band would you like to see a hologram concert of?
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. I can dig it.
Awesome. If you were on death row, what would your last meal be?
Oh, steak.
Yeah.
Steak asparagus.
Yeah, why not, right? All right, what's your guilty pleasure junk food?
Oh, pizza.
Pizza. Any special topping?
Jalapenos.
Jalapenos. Okay. All right.
What's the last thing that you saw that disgusted you?
Like movie wise, TV show wise?
Just life in general.
In general?
Yeah. I mean, it could be a movie or a TV show, but just something that just might have made you angry or made your stomach turn.
Oh, Saw was on this morning. I woke up and Saw was on my TV, and I was like, walking out. Breakfast time.
Awesome.
Oh my God! All right, so I'm gonna go with something very easy for you. What is if you can go to any place in the world that you haven't been, where would you go?
Where I haven't been, or
yeah, where you.
I would love to say it, but unfortunately, it's not there anymore. But it is there there is something there in replacement, would be the World Trade Center.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. What was the what was the last embarrassing experience that you had when you were out on a date?
I forgot to wear a belt and my trousers fell down in the restaurant. That was not cool.
That's happened to me before too, but I actually stopped somewhere and got like a little belt for my trip. So you're not the only one that's happened to.
It was so awkward. Like people were just like, "Oh my god, it's so awkward."
But I was super excited, but also kind of behind. And I'm usually the guy who's there early. But I ended up having to like find a place to buy a belt, and it was literally a cheap belt. Like it fell to pieces.
After like a school belt.
Yes. His question perfectly dovetails into mine. Last question. We always end with this. Since you are based out of Northern Ireland, we're going to tailor-make this question for there, right?
Okay.
You got to help a brother out. A young man is going on a date. This is a first date in Northern Ireland, and he's coming to you for advice. So give him the perfect date to take a young lady out in Northern Ireland. So it's all up to you, his success.
I would probably have to go and say the Europa Hotel. It's known worldwide as, fair enough, it could be the most bombed hotel in the world. Fact. It is a fact. But it's quite a good location. It's pretty good. But yeah, I would definitely say the Europa Hotel.
Okay. All right. And it'll work, right? He'll be
Oh yeah.
All right.
He'll be sorry because there's a bedroom right down the stairs from him, so he's all right.
There you go.
He's sorry.
Well, I want to thank you so much, Gary, for coming on the show. Obviously me and Yardley, we're big fans of the show Game of Thrones, and we can't wait to see you on the episodes that you're on. And
That's
hopefully
awesome.
we can have you back once it's aired, so you can talk a little bit more about what what happened on the show, and we won't have the same secrecy there as before.
Right on.
But like I said, congratulations to you on all of your accomplishments that you have so far. You're so young in your career and life, and
I appreciate it.
You seem like a really good guy. And so for those who may not know, how can they reach you on social media if you have a website, as well as any charity that you want to talk about?
You can find me on my website, garywales.co.uk. There you will be able to see that I'm on Facebook, Instagram, everything basically. Twitter, Gary Wales, Instagram, official Gary Wales. Facebook, just type in Gary Wales on the Facebook. You'll see it. It's verified. It's fine. It's got the wee blue tick. What else? I'm on Snapchat, official G Wales. Usually whenever I'm on film sets and stuff like that, I take snaps and stuff, so it'll be pretty cool. YouNow is younow.com/official G Wales. So you just type official G Wales in. You can get me here. Gary A. Wales is my Twitter, because that's what logged in is. But yeah, garywales.co.uk is the main place to go. So, yep.
All right. And Yardley, how can people get you? Social media?
Pardon?
Yardley, how can people get you? Social media, Yardley? Oh, we're having a little technical difficulties with Yardley. Yardley, you there? You with?
Hey, can you hear?
Yeah, there you go.
You can follow me on Twitter at militant_marker. And if you go to indieradio.org, Kente and I moderate all of the Facebook groups and the Twitter accounts for all of our shows. So if you're following or liking us in any of those things, you're obviously going to be talking to Kente and I. So, but my main account is at militant_marker. Holla at your boy.
All right. And also, too, you can follow me at Kente F and the show at The Spotlight HE. And, of course, you can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Spotlight Hollywood Edition. Just programming note, if you are a fan of Fear the Walking Dead. We will be covering the newest episode tonight, 30 minutes after it airs, the first airing of it. And, of course, go to indyradio.org, indyradio.org. Thank you.
Taisha wants a shout out.
And, of course, I can't not give a shout out.
Taisha been doing it too.
Bradley, thank you so much for setting up this interview, as well as other clients as well will be coming on as well. So thank you so much, Taisha, for setting this up. And
anybody that wants to interview me in here, make sure you contact Taisha. She is my publicist, and she's the woman to ask, and she's amazing. So,
all right, thank you.